Hello everyone, this is Super Comic Girl, and welcome back to another I am not redoing this video. Welcome back to another video. So, I do videos a couple times a week. If you like anything that I have done, you can hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to be subscribed, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. So in today's video, that I wasn't intending to make, but because I had watched a, I think it was in their video or read an article about some people are talking, well, a lot of people are talking about the twist that they did at the end of Miss Marvel, when they have officially, basically introduced mutants into the MCU. And I'll explain why this is not an issue for me as a comic book lover, as a fan of Miss Marvel. I think it's great that they turned her into a mutant. So let me explain it. So several years ago, in the early 2000s, maybe late 90s, Marvel sold X-Men and Spider-Man to Fox and to Sony. And so what ended up happening was, that's why with Fox you will see like X-Men movies, a lot of X-Men movies, and they also were able to show X-Men, the animated series, on their Fox Kids network and all that. The downside of the agreement was that Marvel, even though they could still publish X-Men comics, and they did that, they could not use the word mutant in any of their movies. So if Marvel decided to start making movies or television shows, they could not use the word mutant because that belonged to Fox. So their answer to it was the Inhumans. And they are exactly like the mutants. They have a gene that activates. They have all these different array of abilities and powers. They are, essentially, they are a carbon copy of the X-Men. The thing is, because Marvel did create the X-Men first and they only sold it, they could essentially produce the Inhumans comics and nothing would happen to them. Also, the fact is that the deal didn't include comics. So, even in the Age of Ultron, they could not depict Wanda and Quicksilver as what they were. Wanda and Quicksilver are mutants. They were indicating that their powers came from a different source. So when Disney bought Marvel and Disney turned around and bought Fox, that officially brought the X-Men into the family, into the House of Mouse. With that union, they were free to use the word mutant. However, they weren't ready yet to introduce mutants into the cinematic universe. That all changed a little bit with Doctor Strange 2, when we encounter Charles Xavier, who is in fact a mutant. He's leader of the X-Men, for people that do not know that. So, with the fact is that Inhumans are exactly the same as mutants, because they have people that fear them. Even if the Inhuman, even if the Inhuman gene activated in a 79-year-old, like it did, I think her name was Martha. She became like something out of what's it? Oh, I cannot think of the guy's name. Anyways. But she was this multi-tentacle thing. Lovecraft. I knew I was gonna figure it out. It's Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft had the little thing. So in the Japanese anime of like, I think it was called Future Avengers, when people started to, when the government started fearing them, people started fearing them as well. They didn't understand how these Inhumans were developed, how they came about, all this type of stuff. I'm really glad they did not use the word new humans. That was stupid. They just called them Inhumans. So, during the time that Miss Marvel came out, Kamala Khan, they were still very leery about using the word mutant, so that she was an Inhuman. Now that they feel like, okay, this is the right time to do this, they turned Kamala into a mutant. And I'm very much sure if they hadn't sold the rights to Fox, that she would have been a mutant at the first get-go. But I really like how they did it. And I think someone explained that it wasn't that she transformed into Carol Danvers, it's more of they switched places, which was bizarre. She looked like, where the heck am I at? But I really liked seeing Carol Danvers, at least in one frame of shot. It was really nice. But no, I don't believe that changing her into a mutant is a bad idea. They are they are the same thing. They're the same creature, except with a different name. And it all goes back to Fox buying the X-Men off of Marvel. When you still want to have a superpowered team that you can later on market, you definitely would create the same thing, but with a different name and a different process. But it's really interesting is Bruno brings up her family tree, but also her father talked about how difficult it was for them to have another child after a while. So I don't know if they are making her adopted and that's why she's a mutant and they are not. Of course, parents don't necessarily have to be a mutant, or the brother doesn't necessarily have to be a mutant for the daughter to be a mutant. But I really found it a really intriguing idea of Kamala Khan being a mutant instead of being an Inhuman. And I'm really stoked about how they're going to use that in the Miss Marvels. I also really would like to see a second season of Miss Marvel where she gets to explore, with her being a mutant and everything like that. I think that'd be really great. But overall, like I said, her being turned into a mutant doesn't change anything. I'm really glad they finally opened the dang freaking door and put mutants in. I just really think that is something that needed to be done real badly, because I was really looking forward to finally seeing mutants on television, and now gonna finally one popped up. So I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, read on, nerds. Bye.